Thank you for joining us. I have Dr. Tchaiko Parris, who is a breast-dedicated radiologist, and we're going to talk about breast cancer screening. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for the invite.
So tell me, breast cancer screening, what does that mean?
So breast cancer essentially is a disease that forms in a woman's breast. And essentially a screening study is a preventive measure to take imaging of the breast starting at a particular age, depending on which guidelines you're following based on certain organizations, to image that breast to look for any type of abnormalities that may have pathology that would be malignant.
Okay, so what kinds of screenings are they? You said radiology, so what does that entail?
Oh, got you. So in reference to the breast, there is screening mammography, and then there is diagnostic mammography. And essentially the difference is a screening mammogram is for an asymptomatic patient. She comes in, she says, just take my 4 views, and then she goes home and she waits for the radiologist to render his or her report. A diagnostic mammogram, however, is a patient who is now symptomatic. Either she had a screening mammogram read by the radiologist, and that radiologist is recalling her for care for additional views of the breast, or the patient or her doctor are feeling lumps in the breast, she's having pain, she's having nipple discharge, retraction, something is going on to the breast that she and her doctor are concerned with, and they would like her to come back in for dedicated imaging. So on the day that she comes for her diagnostic mammogram, the imaging obtained by mammography will be evaluated or assessed by the radiologist in real time. And then the radiologist may want additional imaging, such as an ultrasound. And then that's it. Whereas a screening mammogram, once she takes her images, that's it.
Okay, so it obviously depends on what the findings are.
Depends on what the findings are, exactly.
Okay.
But essentially the key difference is a screening is for an asymptomatic patient who's coming for her routine annual mammogram, and a diagnostic patient is either symptomatic or being called back to the facility by the radiologist who read her prior screening mammogram.
Got it. Okay, great. And at what age should you be thinking about getting a screening?
Got you. Well, there's a general consensus that screening mammograms offer benefit for patients, but there is a lack of uniformity among the various organizations who provide guidelines for us. So the breast radiologists, we follow the American College of Radiology, who are also supported by the American Congress for Obstetrics and Gynecologists and the National Cancer Comprehensive Network, who recommend that women should start their annual mammogram at age 40. Now that's for your average risk women who don't have any family history for breast cancer. The American Cancer Society, they had initially upheld these guidelines, but then in 2015, they changed that and stated that women can initiate their mammograms at age 45 and may choose to start earlier or go back to age 40, speaking to your doctor. Totally different from the United States Preventive Services Task Force, which in 2015 also updated their guidelines and stated that a woman should start her mammogram at age 50. Doesn't make sense.
So why would it be increasing in age and not going the other way?
Exactly, and they're saying that the volume of patients who are having cancers at a young age, and for the United States Preventive Task Force, they're saying that women older than age 74 should not have mammograms because the chance that you'll develop cancer at that age is very rare or very small, that is negligible. And the other organizations that I just stated, they recommend that you have your annual mammogram annually, right? Whereas the United States Preventive Task Force recommends that you do it biannually. So you do the math, you start at age 50, you finish at age 74, that's 12 mammograms in your lifetime. There might be some financial aspects involved there.
Right.
But as stated, this is for average risk women. For women who are considered high risk, women who have a family history for breast cancer, they should be under some type of surgical care or within a high-risk clinic. And for them, it's recommended that they start their mammogram 10 years prior to the first-degree relative who had breast cancer. So a first-degree relative is considered your mother, sister, daughter. That makes you high risk. Second-degree relatives are grandmother and aunts. Third-degree relatives are great aunts, nieces, cousins. So when you start listing, distant family members, it doesn't have that much of a strength to make you a high-risk patient.
Right.
So let's do some examples. Mom was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 50. She would start her mammogram at age 40. Normal. Mom was diagnosed at 45. She starts at 35. Mom at 40, she can get a mammogram at 30.
Right.
Mom's 35, she gets a mammogram at 25. But what happens when mom was between 30 and 34? she cannot have a mammogram. 25 is the age given to us, the minimum age by the Food and Drug Administration for a woman to initiate having a mammogram, no matter her risk. So if she has a parent who is younger, she actually starts off with a screening breast ultrasound or breast MRI, which are imaging studies with no radiation.
I see. Okay, so it really comes down to the radiation part of it more than anything.
Exactly. I mean, we're always thinking about that when it comes to our patients because, we have patients that show up with, diagnostic orders from their doctors and they're like 18 or 21 and they want a mammogram. And they are like, no, my doctor wrote this order. I'm like, your doctor doesn't know the guidelines that I know. Because some of the family practitioners, who are part of the American Academy for Family Practitioners, they follow the United States Preventive Services Task Force. And they will actually write orders for women who start at age 50.
Right.
But sometimes they will send young patients in with a mammographic order. And you're like, you know what? You can get a mammogram, but it's not going to be performed at this breast center or by me.
Right, because of that one thing you just mentioned. Now, I know that some of the young girls are carrying their phones right on, underneath their bra strap. And that's causing some concern, isn't it?
It's causing some concern. Some of the research coming back from that is that the extended long-term, use of women putting their cameras or phones there can lead to potential of breast cancer. Now, you put it within your pants pocket in your jeans. There's a layer. You have the clothing from the jeans and your underwear. Now, you put it in your breast. You are trying to say, I don't want to carry an extra purse, I'm going out, I'm hanging out with the girls. You're taking that phone and it's making direct contact with your skin. And we all have phones, no matter the type, iPhones, Android, where sometimes that phone gets hot. You're on the phone with your girlfriend for an hour or two, it's hot. And you have a lot of rare earth metals within these phones. And sometimes you don't even know what they are. And now you take it and you're constantly put it in there. I believe even Dr. John West, the breast surgeon who's out in Orange, he actually have cases where they actually saw imprints or shape of the constant placement of the phone there and the subsequent development of breast cancer.
It's really changing over the years, for sure.
It definitely is. We have to be a little bit more cautious.
I'm glad that you have identified all the different organizations that say something different. So if anyone had any concerns about when they need to be screened, where would you suggest they go for that information?
Definitely, I would recommend the American College of Radiology. This is the College of Radiology that monitors everything pertaining to that. But also the National Cancer Comprehensive Network, because they're a broader organization encompassing all the management and guidelines for cancer from head to toe. And they have a very comprehensive guideline for breast cancer. So those would definitely be the two places to start.
Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you taking the time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
And thank you for joining us.